Have you ever felt that lump in the throat, that anguish of waiting for a response that never comes, the echo of the void where interest should be? What if I told you there's a sign, a specific behavior from her, that is the key for you to never have to send another message and, more importantly, to regain your inner peace, your dignity, and your time? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just about relationships. It's about unlocking an inner strength you didn't even know you possessed, a strength that will transform your perspective on yourself and on life's challenges. In the next few minutes, prepare for a journey that could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Before we dive into the strategies that will change your emotional game, I want you to meet your allies on this 30-day transformation journey. First, the Reason Journal, a simple notebook or a note-taking app where you will record your thoughts, emotions, and crucially, your daily victories against self-destructive impulses. Think of it as your most honest confidant, the one who won't let you lie to yourself. Second, the Guided Meditations for Serenity, short audio tracks available on various platforms that will be your refuge to calm your mind in moments of turmoil and anxiety. These audios are like balms for a wounded soul, small oases of peace in the middle of your emotional desert. And third, the Inner Warrior Manual, a metaphor for the classic texts of Stoicism from which we will extract timeless wisdom nuggets. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius. These guys knew their stuff. They understood human nature and how to build an unshakable inner fortress. Remember the fundamental rules of our learning universe. Rule 1. Every reflection noted in the Reason Journal must be followed by a small concrete action the next day, strengthening the link between thought and behavior. It's not enough just to think, you need to act. Real change happens in the arena of life, not in the comfort of your mind. Rule 2. Progress is measured by the consistency of your daily practice, not by the pursuit of immediate and unattainable perfection. The journey is made of small steps, and each one counts. Every small victory, every controlled impulse, every moment of clarity is a brick in the construction of your new self. First, let's face what you might have been avoiding: the decisive sign. This is the starting point, the moment the fog of vain hope begins to dissipate. We're talking about that behavior from her that screams disinterest, but which you, deep down, already know is there, right? That pattern that repeats, subtle, sometimes brutal at others, but always present, draining your energy, your self-esteem. It's that response that takes hours, days, or simply never comes. And when it comes, it's short, monosyllabic, an okay, a cool, an emoji lost in the void. No questions back. No curiosity about you, about your day, about your life. Do you see? The conversation dies there if you don't make a Herculean effort to resurrect it. And why should you be the only one keeping this lifeless body breathing? Think about it. Another clear, crystal clear sign: lack of initiative. Are you always the one who initiates contact? Always the one who suggests? Always the one who makes an effort to keep the connection alive? If the answer is yes, my friend, this isn't a partnership. It's a monologue disguised as a dialogue. She might respond, she might even be polite, but her lack of initiative is a shouting megaphone. I'm not that interested. And the last-minute cancellations? Those that come with flimsy excuses, vague, without a concrete proposal to reschedule immediately. Oh, something came up. Can't make it today, maybe another day. That maybe is the limbo of your hope, a place where your energy goes to die. If she really wanted to, she would move mountains, or at least she would move her schedule and say, I can't today, but how about tomorrow at 7 or Saturday? Specificity is a sign of interest. Vagueness, a sign of disinterest. Don't be fooled. The pain of recognizing these signs is real, I know. It's like a punch to the gut. You invested time, emotion, created expectations. It's natural to want to deny it. Oh, but she's different. She's going through a difficult time. Maybe she's just shy. These are the justifications your mind creates to protect you from the pain of rejection, to keep alive a glimmer of hope that often has already become toxic. This denial is a defense mechanism, but one that prevents you from moving on, that keeps you trapped in a cycle of frustration. The impact of this on your emotional state is devastating. Constant anxiety checking your phone, that tightness in your chest every time you send a message, and the silence on the other side prolongs. your self-esteem begins to erode. You start to question your own worth. Am I not good enough? What did I do wrong? And the obsession. Intrusive thoughts about her, about what she's doing, who she's talking to. You reread old conversations looking for clues, signs that there was interest once, feeding a nostalgia that only ties you to the past. This isn't life, my friend. This is a self-imposed prison. But here's the good news. Clarity, even if painful at first, is liberating. Truth has that power. It can hurt, yes, but it's a pain that heals, that puts you back in control of your own narrative. Recognizing the decisive sign of disinterest isn't about finding someone to blame. It's not about her being a bad person or you being inadequate. It's about compatibility, about reciprocity, about the natural flow of interest that should exist in any healthy relationship. If that flow is unilateral, something is fundamentally wrong. And the responsibility to protect your inner peace, your dignity is yours, uniquely yours. This is the turning point. The moment you stop being a passive spectator of your own emotional life and become the protagonist. The first step to freedom is to look at this sign, without filters, without excuses, and say, I see you, I understand what you mean, and I choose not to submit to this anymore. Write it down in your reason journal. Write about these signs you've identified. Be brutally honest. She takes X hours to respond. She never initiates a conversation. She cancelled Y times without rescheduling. Putting it on paper takes away the power these thoughts have when they just echo in your head. And remember rule 1, after writing it down, define a small action. Maybe the action is, for today, not to look at her social media profile, or maybe it's to focus on a task of yours that you've been putting off. Small steps, remember? This recognition is the first step to disarming the emotional time bomb that is about to explode inside you, or that may have been exploding in slow motion for some time. It's not about hating her or cultivating resentment. It's about self-love. It's about saying, I deserve more, I deserve reciprocity. I deserve someone who is as enthusiastic about getting to know me as I am about getting to know them. And if that person doesn't show it, then with all the calm and dignity in the world, you withdraw. You preserve yourself, because your energy is too valuable to be wasted where it's not welcome, where it's not valued. This sign, my friend, is not a curse. It's a compass pointing the way to your self-worth. Follow it. If what I've said so far made any sense to you, if you've ever found yourself in this situation of waiting in vain, of feeling invisible, leave a like on this video. It's a way for you to say enough to this anguish and yes to your transformation. And if you want to keep receiving content that empowers you, that puts you in control, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. More powerful content is coming. Second, let's dive deep into the toxic hope trap and the vacuum dynamic, because understanding how this trap works is crucial for you to free yourself from it. Once you identify the sign of disinterest, why is it so hard to simply turn the page? Why do we keep feeding that small, treacherous glimmer of hope? What if she responds now? What if today is different? Maybe she was just really busy yesterday, the day before, last week. This hope, when detached from reality, becomes toxic. It paralyzes you. It prevents you from seeing other opportunities, from investing in yourself, from finding peace. It's like an addict waiting for the next fix. And the fix here is any crumb of attention she might eventually give you. And the vacuum. The vacuum she leaves when she doesn't respond, when she disappears, when she's evasive. This vacuum is fertile ground for your imagination to create the worst scenarios or, paradoxically, the most hopeful ones. You try to fill this vacuum with your own narratives, your own justifications. She must be thinking about me, but she's scared. She's playing hard to get. I need to try harder to break through this barrier. But what if the vacuum isn't an invitation for you to try harder? What if the vacuum is simply vacuum, an empty space that she chooses not to fill with her presence, with her interest? The psychology behind this is fascinating and at the same time a bit cruel to us. There's something called intermittent reinforcement. Think of a slot machine. You don't win every time, but you win occasionally, just enough to keep you pulling the lever. In relationships, when someone gives you attention inconsistently, sometimes responding quickly and enthusiastically, other times disappearing for days. It creates a pattern of intermittent reinforcement. You become addicted to the uncertainty, to the anticipation of the next reward. Your brain releases dopamine not only when you receive the message, but in the very anticipation of it. That's why checking your phone becomes a compulsive act. Every notification, even if it's not from her, gives you a small peak of alertness, of hope. And there's also the Zeigarnik effect, a psychological phenomenon that says we tend to remember unfinished tasks more than completed ones. A relationship where interest wasn't clearly reciprocated, where things were left hanging, is a big unfinished task in your mind. You keep dwelling on it, trying to understand, seeking closure that may never come from the other person. This vicious cycle of waiting, checking, getting frustrated, creating new hopes and repeating it all over again is exhausting. It drains your vital energy. How much time have you already lost staring at your phone screen, wondering what she's doing, why she hasn't responded? How much of your precious mental energy has been consumed by this one person, by this one situation? Think about the projects you could have started, the hobbies you could have cultivated, the friends you could have met, if that energy were directed towards you, towards your growth. The cost of this waiting is extremely high. It's not just time and energy, it's your self-esteem being undermined, your confidence draining away. You start to feel less interesting, less valuable, because your measure of worth becomes dependent on another person's approval or attention. And that, my friend, is handing over your personal power on a silver platter. Breaking the spell of toxic hope requires courage. It requires you to look at reality, raw and naked, and accept it. Reality is not your enemy. It is your compass. If the facts, the decisive sign, the lack of reciprocity, point in one direction, and your hope points in another, guess which one is leading you to the abyss? Accepting that maybe she's not that interested, or that it's simply not meant to be, is not a sign of failure. It's an act of profound emotional intelligence and self-respect. It's saying, okay, this is what it is, it hurts, but I'm going to deal with it and move on. Here, your reason journal becomes a powerful tool. Note each time you catch yourself falling into the toxic hope trap. Describe the thought, what if she responds tonight? And then confront that thought with the facts you've already noted about the decisive sign. But she hasn't responded to the last 3 messages. But she cancelled our last date and didn't suggest another time. This confrontation between fantasy hope and factual reality is like a splash of cold water, but a necessary one to wake you up. And the guided meditations for serenity. Use them when the anxiety of waiting hits hard, when the urge to check your phone every 5 minutes becomes unbearable. 10-15 minutes of meditation can help you calm your mind, observe your thoughts without identifying with them, create space between the impulse and the action. Remember, the vacuum she leaves doesn't need to be filled by you with more messages, more effort, more anguish. That vacuum can be the space you needed to reconnect with yourself, to breathe, to redirect your focus. The vacuum dynamic only affects you if you allow it to suck your energy. If you decide not to feed it, it loses its power over you. Breaking this cycle begins with a conscious decision, the decision to stop waiting for something that consistently doesn't come. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it impossible? Not at all. Thousands of men have gone through this and come out stronger. You can too. It's a matter of choice. The choice to value your peace above her validation. The choice to invest in who really matters, you. And that choice, my friend, is the first step to transforming this pain into power. Third, let's talk about the strategy that will turn this game in your favor. Strategic silence and taking back control. After identifying the decisive sign and understanding the toxic hope trap, what do you do? The answer might seem counterintuitive to someone, used to chasing after, trying to fix things, trying harder. The answer is nothing. Silence, but not just any silence, passive, resentful. A conscious, strategic, powerful silence. Before detailing how to implement this silence, let's go over what not to do. Please pay close attention here, because these are the mistakes most people make, and they only worsen the situation further, undermining your dignity. First, don't beg for attention. Messages like, "Why aren't you responding? Did I do something wrong? Shall I miss you? Please talk to me," are a sign of desperation. They put you in a position of inferiority, of emotional begging, and no one is attracted to desperation. Second, don't complain. You disappear, don't you? Come on, would it kill you to respond? You never have time for me. Complaints generate defensiveness, not interest. She might give you some excuse to get rid of your complaint, but she won't magically start valuing you. Third, and perhaps most importantly, don't send just one more message to break her silence, to test if she's still there, to see if this time it will work. Every unanswered message or message answered coldly after the sign of disinterest is already clear is another nail in the coffin of your self-esteem. It's you devaluing yourself, showing that your time and attention are infinite and can be wasted. Now, strategic silence, what is it? It's a firm decision based on your self-respect to no longer initiate contact when her pattern of disinterest has become evident. It's not a game of who can go longer without talking. It's not about manipulating her into chasing you, although paradoxically this can sometimes happen, but it shouldn't be your main goal. It's about you. It's about protecting your energy, your time, your peace of mind. It's a silent but powerful declaration that you value yourself too much to continue investing where there is no return, where there is no reciprocity. How to implement this silence? Simple but not easy. You stop sending messages, you stop calling, you stop trying to start a conversation, you stop reacting to her stories, liking her photos. If this causes you anguish or keeps you trapped in hope, you create a vacuum, but this time it's an intentional vacuum created by you for you. The initial discomfort will be real. You're used to interacting, waiting, trying. Your brain will bombard you with what-ifs. What if she's waiting for a message from me? What if she thinks I don't like her anymore? What if I miss my chance? It's the validation withdrawal syndrome, the fear of losing something that in reality you never had in a genuine and reciprocal way. This is where your allies come into play with full force. Your reason journal will be your battlefield and your victory log. Every day you resist the urge to send a message, write it down. Write how you felt, what the trigger was, how you overcame it. Day 1 of conscious silence felt a strong urge to send good morning. Remembered the signs of disinterest I noted, took a deep breath, succeeded. These small daily victories will build powerful momentum, and the guided meditations for serenity? They will be your emotional first aid kit. When anxiety tightens its grip, when your mind starts racing with obsessive thoughts, stop everything and meditate. 10-15 minutes. Focus on your breathing. Watch thoughts pass like clouds in the sky without clinging to them. This will give you the mental space needed not to act on impulse. And rule 1, remember, small, concrete actions. What to do. With all this time and mental energy you're no longer spending on her, redirect it to yourself. Invest in your hobbies. Go out with your friends, the ones who truly value you. Focus on your work, your studies, your personal projects. Go to the gym, run in the park, take care of your body. Read books that expand your mind. And here, the Inner Warrior Manual, Stoicism, can be an incredible source of strength. Learn something new. The more you fill your life with activities that bring you joy, purpose, and growth, the less space there will be for the anguish of waiting. You'll start to realize that your happiness doesn't depend on her response, or anyone else's, it depends on you. Strategic silence has a curious effect. It speaks volumes. It communicates that you have options, that you have an interesting life beyond her, that you're not desperate for attention. It communicates self-respect. And self-respect, my friend, is magnetically attractive. Could she notice your absence and miss you? Possibly. Could she reach out to you? Possibly. But, and this is a big but, if that happens, you will be in a position of power, of choice. You will no longer be reacting to her disinterest. You will be responding, or not, to a possible genuine interest from her. And you can clearly evaluate if it's worth resuming contact and on what terms. And if she doesn't reach out, that's great too. It only confirms that the disinterest was real and that your decision to step back was the most correct one to protect your peace. In that case, your silence saved you from more pain, more frustration, more wasted time. Either way, you win. You gain peace, you gain time, you gain dignity. Conscious silence is not about her. It's about you taking back control of your emotional life. It's about putting yourself first. And that, my friend, is one of the most powerful decisions a man can make. Does it take time? Yes. Does it require discipline? Absolutely. But the result, emotional freedom, inner peace, the rescue of your self-esteem, is worth every second of effort. Start today. Define your first day of conscious silence. Use your tools, and watch the transformation happen. I want to hear from you now. What was the clearest sign of disinterest that you ignored for too long? Or what strategy have you used to deal with it? Share in the comments below. No judgment. This is a space for mutual learning and strengthening. Reading the experiences of other men who are on this same journey or who have been through it can be incredibly enlightening and motivating. Let's build a community of warriors here, supporting each other. Fourth, and perhaps the most transformative step of all, rebuilding the inner warrior. Dignity, purpose, and the vision for the future. Because after identifying the sign, understanding the hope trap, and applying strategic silence, the deepest work happens within you. This is where you transform the pain of rejection or disinterest into raw material to build an unshakable inner fortress. This is where you not only overcome this specific situation, but become a fundamentally stronger, more resilient, more centered man. And our Inner Warrior Manual, the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, will be your master guide in this reconstruction. Philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius faced immense challenges: exile, slavery, wars, personal losses, and left us a legacy of how to live a virtuous, meaningful, and above all, serene life, regardless of external circumstances. The fundamental principle of Stoicism that you need to internalize now is focus on what you can control and accept what you cannot. You cannot control her feelings, her actions, her choices. You cannot force her to like you, to respond to you, to value you. Trying to do this is the source of all your anguish. But what can you control? Your own actions, your reactions, your thoughts. With practice, your values. The decision not to send more messages. The decision to focus on yourself. The decision to keep your dignity intact. This, my friend, is 100% under your control, and that's where your true power lies. Regained dignity is the first great pillar of this reconstruction. Remember the feeling of feeling small, of begging for attention, of questioning if you were good enough. That ends here. By choosing conscious silence, by choosing not to submit yourself to situations of devaluation anymore, you are reclaiming your dignity. You are telling the universe, and especially yourself, I have value. I deserve respect. I won't accept less than that. This posture changes everything. It changes how you feel. It changes how others perceive you. Time. Time. It is your most precious, most irretrievable asset. How much of it have you already dedicated to this fruitless waiting, to this anguish? Now, with the clarity and decision you have made, that time returns to you. How will you invest it? Think seriously about it. Every hour you no longer spend obsessively checking your phone or dwelling on the past is an hour you can use to build the future you desire, to learn a new skill, to take care of your health, to connect with people who truly add value to your life, to work on your dreams. Your Reason Journal can help you plan this investment of time. Set small, daily, weekly goals. This week I will dedicate X hours to my project Y. Today I will read about Z for 30 minutes. Inner peace. This is the grand prize. True freedom isn't having someone respond to you all the time. It's not needing anyone to respond for you to feel good, complete, at peace. It's finding that source of contentment within yourself. Guided meditations for serenity are crucial here. Regular meditation practice helps you disidentify from your anxious thoughts, cultivate an inner calm that is not shaken by external storms. You learn to be the observer of your mind, not its slave. And that peace, once conquered, no one can take away from you. Rediscovered strength. Every challenge we overcome makes us stronger. This painful experience of dealing with disinterest, of facing rejection, of having to step away, is not a sign of your weakness. It's an opportunity for you to discover a strength you didn't even know you possessed. Resilience, the ability to recover from adversity, is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And you are exercising that resilience right now by following these steps, by committing to your transformation. Note in your reason journal every moment you felt strong, every time you resisted a negative impulse, every small victory. Celebrate these victories. They are proof of your growing inner strength, transforming pain into fuel. Pain is inevitable in life, but suffering is optional. Stoicism teaches us not to be crushed by pain, but to use it as a catalyst for growth. Every no you received, every silence, every demonstration of disinterest can be seen as a failure that diminishes you, or as feedback that propels you forward. Feedback that she wasn't the right person, or it wasn't the right time, or that you needed to develop more self-love before seeking love elsewhere. Choose to see it as fuel. Every drop of pain transformed into determination. Every disappointment transformed into learning. The 30-day journey I mentioned at the beginning. What can you expect at the end of this period if you dedicate yourself to using your tools? The reason. Journal, the meditations, the inner warrior manual, and follow these principles. You can expect a new version of yourself, a man more aware of his emotional patterns, more capable of identifying what is healthy and what is toxic in relationships, more centered, with self-esteem that doesn't depend on external validation, more confident in his own choices, freer from the need for approval. It's not about magically forgetting her in 30 days. Some memories may persist, but the emotional power this situation had over you will have drastically diminished. It's fundamentally about remembering you, who you are, what you value, what you deserve, and the future. With this new inner fortress, with this clarity and self-respect, the future opens up in a completely different way. You will no longer be seeking relationships out of need, out of fear of loneliness, or to fill a void. You will be seeking genuine connections based on reciprocity, mutual respect, shared interests. You will become more selective because you will know your worth. And ironically, this selectivity, this self-confidence, this inner peace are incredibly attractive. You will attract people and situations that resonate with this new energy. The promise I made you at the beginning, that you would never again have to send that message waiting in vain, that you would regain your inner peace, your dignity, and your time. It wasn't an empty promise. It is the natural result of this process, of internal reconstruction. You won't need to send that message anymore because you will have more important and interesting things to do with your time and energy. You won't need that response anymore to feel validated because you have become your own source of validation. You will have found a peace that is not conditional, a dignity that is non-negotiable. This is the legacy of the inner warrior you are building, a legacy of strength, wisdom, and serenity. Continue on this journey. Use your tools. Trust the process. You are the architecture of your fortress. Build it solid. Build it to last. And so, we reach the end of this conversation, but the beginning of your most significant transformation. Remember that lump in the throat, that agonizing weight, the echo of the void. All of this can be your starting point for a life with more personal power, more dignity, and unshakable peace. Her decisive sign is not a sentence, it is a liberation. The key is in your hands, use it. The journey of rebuilding your inner warrior begins with the first courageous step of looking at the truth, choosing conscious silence, and committing to your own growth. You have the tools, you have the map. Now the walk is yours, don't delay any longer. The strength you seek already resides within you, waiting to be awakened. Go forth and unleash it. Your future self will thank you. The journey begins now. The first step is yours, and it can change everything.